Hey, we're two fat guys.
And we just watched The Spirit.
My brain went, we watched Sin City, dumbass. I stopped myself. I'm like,
Don't worry, Brendan's brain. That's an understandable mistake.
Yeah. I was like, at first I was still like, oh good, I stopped myself. I'm like, I need to share. I need to share that with class.
Yeah, visually very Sin City.
Yeah, but, I mean that's why he picked the comic though. The comic visually is very Sin City.
His Frank Miller was hanging around on set when they did Sin City, and he was like, "This doesn't seem too hard."
Yeah. And he directed a part of it. He was the assistant director.
He got the directing credit because the director was like, "I basically used your comics as a storyboard."
He was on set, so
he was there.
He was like sitting there like, oh, this is how movies work. You put this here and put a camera and things in the movie.
Like I want to see him direct like some like rom-com, but it still visually looks like these movies. Like that's just how he knows how to make movies.
I would watch the shit out of that. Yeah.
I really see what you mean about this being two movies.
Yeah, and that time I watched it, I'm like, okay, it is more of the comedy than I remember.
That's more of what you should focus on. I think if they got rid of a lot of the other part and just kept it the kind of almost a parody of the Sin City-esque
I think they didn't. I think even the balance would work if they didn't start with the series, because like the opening section with like the monologue on the rooftops and a lot of the opening when he's going to the fight, it's all sort of the taking itself seriously.
Yeah, and then Sam Jackson shows up and you're like,
yeah. And they came out of the gates with some of the funny stuff. Like, then I think it might set the tone a lot earlier, and then like, okay, well, this is just this character taking himself seriously, which to make the comedy work, he has to.
Yeah.
It's the problem of the funny thing happened on the way to the fort. In previews, it was not very successful because he had this song called "Love Is in the Air," which is sort of a nice little love song about all these people falling in love and love's gonna happen, and no one really got the show because it didn't compare them at all. Yeah. And then someone told him that he wrote Comedy Tonight. Huge success. And it's like, oh, okay, we're supposed to laugh at things. Now I get it. I get it.
So I see why a lot of people were kind of on the fence about this movie. I mean, I just kind of tuned out during a lot of the heavy-handed stuff and just enjoyed a lot of the comedy parts, and I found it to be quite entertaining.
Yeah, the very long backstory between Sand and whatever the spirit's name was. It's just they're back in that flashback forever, and then it's like, oh right, he's on a roof thinking with a cat.
When it came back to that, I was like, oh right, we're watching this movie. I was like, oh, that's young Neil, and I was just watching young Neil do this movie.
Young Neil, I was sitting there going, I'm pretty sure that's the girl from The Last Airbender. As little as I like to think about that movie, she was the good one that they took for Cora.
Yeah, so I mean, Sam Jackson is amazing in every single scene.
In all his scenes, like, if you just go in, like, okay, I'm going to really just soak up the comedy parts and let the seriousness slide as sort of establishing the characters for the comedy to play off of. Maybe if he's a little, I don't know. I mean, it's his first film. He didn't write any since he did he?
I mean, it's based on his comics.
It's based on his comics, but I don't think he actually wrote the screenplay, did he?
No, it was all in Matt Vaughn, I want to say.
I can see that. But yeah, so I mean, it's Frank Miller's first thing, and he wrote and directed it, so I could see him having a hard time on film finding that balance. And he probably had the right idea. He probably thought, oh, it's going to be sort of a take on this. I just did Sin City. It was sort of a high violence, very sexualized, very stylized. This, and now he's he's poking fun at the Bond, the Bond sex girls with Sans Serif and what was the French name?
I'm trying to remember Scarlett Johansson's character name. Floss.
Silk and Floss. Silk and Floss. Yeah, just a lot of puns that remind me of Bon Voyage. So I think it very much wanted to be that movie, and for the most part it is. It starts off with a little too much of it. It's front loaded with the seriousness. Like the back half bit, I think. Like the last fight when it's quote unquote serious. Yeah. Like it's just good action. There's not a whole lot of like, high drama.
Oh yeah.
So I think that works. It's front loaded with a lot of that seriousness, and if you had a little more comedy early on, like if you just start in the middle of the toilet fight.
Like I would that's always funny. Yeah, I mean, I think that I've completely lost my train of thought.
You think?
I'm pretty confident in that.
Overall, though, I liked the movie when I saw it. I don't think any fault when people complain about it.
I remember my train of thought. So I wonder if a lot of that was in the editing, because my guess is a movie that was shot like this is very difficult to edit well, because with how specific like every single shot is, I wonder if it's difficult to, like, if you realize in the editing room, like, oh, we've got a lot like this, like all this drama like this, the dialogue stuff goes on long. I wonder if that makes it harder to edit after the fact.
Script-wise, you know that. Even with the highly stylized version and the amount of action in it, you still look at the script and go, you'd be able to know, like, okay, this is a pretty serious, heavy scene.
Though I could see them not even knowing this was going to be any comedy until Samuel Jackson showed up.
I think Frank Miller had to know, because there's enough. It's not just him. There's the rookie police woman.
Yeah, Sonia Kadek.
Yeah, she's intentionally hilarious.
She's great.
Yeah.
This is I think one of the first things I've seen her in outside of Castle, and she's, which you haven't seen, but she's the straight woman to Nathan Fillion.
Well, you have to be. Like, I'm sorry. There are like 4 people on the planet who could be the non-straight man to Nathan Fillion.
Yeah, like, and so it was very much her taking this totally opposite role in almost the same thing. Like, she's still a detective, she's still a policewoman in the city, but
so it probably helped you go.
I was like, what the hell is happening? But I thought she did really well in this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like the character. Like, the voice is unique. The accent, that's fun. I keep my guy's name. The dad from Wonder Years, though, it's fantastic as the grizzled police chief. Like, damn it, I don't want none of this around.
Yeah, casting's great. Like, everyone is in this movie.
Yeah, shitloads of people in this movie.
A lot of great female actors are in this movie, which you don't like. Usually, you don't get to see them all in one movie.
Although granted, the argument would be that but they're put in a very sexist position. They're all sort of eye candy sort of roles.
Sort of, but each one of them had a very distinct characterization, which I like.
Oh, you mean like Belly Dance Girl and
well,
and Ava Mendes, no nakedness.
Yeah, but I mean,
those different characterizations. Like, oh, one girl had a little bit of clothing on, one girl had none, one girl had slightly more, but still not too much.
No, I mean, you know what I mean. Like, there's I really liked the moment with the belly dancer one at the end when she just stabbed him.
Yeah.
Just like, because they're like, final embrace. She's like, no, I'm still pissed at you. Stab. Which is pretty good. Yeah, because you don't see a lot of female ensembles especially in a movie like this.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot
high action movies.
Yeah, there are a lot of smaller roles, like the Deaf Girl and the French Woman. They're fairly small roles. And still the main 2 roles are males, the Spirit and the Octopus.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are a lot of females in it. Like, they filled in the periphery with females.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying, oh, this is the perfect shining beacon of
feminist film.
Yeah, no, but it was refreshing.
Yeah, I'm overly sensitive. I had to read a lot of papers on feminism in film and the male gaze, which I don't care who you are. Try getting through a lecture on the male gaze without giggling. Every time when I watch Lord of the Rings, I say, something's averted his gaze. I picture Sauron's gay army marching on the gates. Hello, Aragorn!
Oh, no, they're over there. You should be over there. Oh, they've been averted. Way to ruin that word for me.
See, now you have the same problem I do. No one can say gays. Which, first off, it's a little antiquated. Like, it's not used normally that much anymore. Averted his gaze. I've ruined that moment for you. That's what I've ruined. You'll remember next time you're watching Lord of the Rings. You go, damn it!
Between that and just it's been around for a long time, but how much I've seen the one does not simply meme. Like, I'm not going to be able to get through that moment either. We have at work.
Edward Stark say that?
Yeah. We had a package deal for one of the photos that we sold that's called Simply Choose One, and like up in the office somebody put a post-it note, one does not, in front of it, and I laughed for a while. I'm like, who put this here? They're my favorites.
They're so good. I'm giving them a raise. Because you have power to that.
Oh yeah. I did try to wager somebody else's paycheck in a bet recently with like the park manager. was like, I bet you Nick's paycheck that I can sell this by the end of the day. He's like, I don't think I can do that, but go for it.
Yes, try to sell a whole lot. And I just see all the thumbnails of our failed videos from last time. You collapse on the table. For shame. Yeah, so I would say don't believe the negative press on The Spirit. Give it a chance.
Give it a chance and kind of go in
knowing the things we said, the bipolarness of it.
Yeah, I was like, I think because I went in pretty aware of it. A lot of people have talked to me about this, and I enjoyed it.
I tell you, this is another movie that has the same complaint, except it doesn't fare nearly as well. Is Beowulf, the one that Neil Gaiman wrote?
Oh, he wrote that?
Neil Gaiman co-wrote, and the digitally the one that had like the animation from Polar Express, like the
really pseudo realistic.
It also didn't. It also had those problems, and I swear to God, because there are two writers, and I'm thinking to myself, like, I wonder if like this first guy wrote the main story, Neil Gaiman came in, thought it was sort of like making fun of it, and like wrote some of the wacky bits, because it really comes across as two shockingly different movies, and it really hurts the enjoyment of either one of them. This one, however, I think it blends a lot closer. It still has a little problem.
It's almost there. Like it's not perfect, but also we watched a lot of movies that have really done that well.
We've watched so many damn movies.
Yeah, I think it's good for us to evaluate that thing because we've seen movies that have done that really well, and we've seen movies that have done it way worse than this. Mm-hmm. And I think that. When this came out, there was a lot of people talking about that exact same complaint, that they didn't know what it was striving to be, and we've seen much worse movies than that. Like, that have gotten that so wrong that you can't even tell that it doesn't know what it's doing. Mm-hmm. I mean, like, it doesn't have a clear goal. But yeah, I enjoyed this one. As always, Sam Jackson was great and everything.
So you're going to have to do something pretty awful for me not to suggest a Sam Jackson movie to people. Like Sam Jackson, you should probably watch it, I guess. Yeah. Might as well. Yeah, we talked about doing a Sam Jackson marathon, but we should have started years ago when we were children. So hopefully our kids or maybe our grandkids we'll get to do the Sam Jackson marathon.
Once he's finished all his movies and the life expectancy of a human is long enough where you can actually consume his.
Once we crack 150, I think he'll probably be dead by then. Mm-hmm. I mean, sorry, Sam Jackson, you'll probably be dead by then. Once life expectancy is 150.
Well, not if the end of The Spirit is any indication.
No.
Spoilers.
It's not. I don't know if I find it odd or if it's funny or if he's saying it for a sequel or if he's just doing it to do it with the line like, who knows what I'll do?
Yeah.
I'm like, fucking no one. Good point. You're right. No one knows what's going on. You and a finger and a couple of the dumbasses. Which I love those guys. Those guys are great. Well, that guy's phenomenal.
Yeah, he's done a lot. He's that guy. Mm. I'm glad he's way older than me, so I don't ever have to compete with him.
What's his name?
It's super long. I don't know off the top of my head.
Super long, okay.
He's not one of that guys that I have their name memorized.
So yeah, Spirit.
That's the one. It's not the really long name I was thinking of.
It's not the person I was thinking of either. I was thinking of the guy who's Fester on Broadway for Adam's Family. He's Kevin Chamberlain. Kevin Chamberlain, yeah.
He was Horton as well.
Oh.
In the musical.
So he's both Broadway roles he's played.
Yep.
Because they give Shrek to skinny guys. They give him a fat suit.
Fucking skinny guys playing Shrek.
Right.
I'm against that. I'm going on record.
We're fattest. So that
my chair creaks. Thanks, chair.
It's like we know.
It's like maybe skinny people should be able to do things like sit in chairs.
I'm just saying. Man, I love this table's not wobbly. The terrible days of being afraid to knock it over. So watch The Spirit. Next up, okay. It's Batman. We're back to
Batman Forever.
Batman Forever, which I have some fun anecdotes about that. Tied to some funness in my childhood.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I mean,
I think we need to force Clayton to be here for Batman and Robin. I know we're not there yet, but
force everyone to be here for Batman and Robin.
I just want to go on that because I
think the more people you have watching Batman and Robin, the better.
Well, I just want Clayton. I need a small enclosed space, and I don't want to limit the pain for Clayton. If there's more people, might numb the pain for Clayton. I just want to watch his soul die at every ice pun. Ice to meet you.
You know, killed the dinosaurs. The Ice Age.
Hey, everybody, chill out. So yeah. So thank God we don't post these regularly because Clayton would be forewarned. We're gonna trick him.
Yeah, this will be way after.
So Clayton, after you've already been tricked into watching Batman and Robin, watch this video and know we pre-planned it.
Yeah, it was not a spur of the moment decision.
No, it was carefully decided because I want to watch you die. In all sense of the meaning, I want to watch you die. Yeah, so that's that. We're two fat guys and Batman and Robin awaits. No,
Batman Forever.
That's the one. Batman forever.
Forever.
Pooping back and Batman forever.